representation is the new air quality network. So if we try to get a visual representation of dust, for instance, if we say PM10 is roughly the size of a parasol. Next slide, please. So sorry, PM100 is the size of a parasol. If we say PM10 is the size of a football, PM2.5 is the size of a tennis ball, and PM0.1, which is the ultrafine particulates where they start, is the size of a pinprick. So it gives you a good representation and ratio of the difference in size of particulate that we're trying to measure and identify. So these ultrafine particulates, as they're called, is from 0.1 micrometers down to very, very low level, very, very tiny size. Okay, and there's all different kinds of particulate, again, from where it's coming from as to what size it'll be. So in the past, and what we do now, there's different methods of measuring particulates. So if you're measuring PM2.5, PM10, there's different methods. So there's a gravimetric method, where you take a sample, put it on a filter and weigh it. There's the radioactive measurement, where again it draws a sample in onto a tape, and you have a radionuclide source, and you measure the radionuclide counts, which then determines how much particulate is on the tape paper. And then finally there's the optical measurement method, which is capable of measuring much lower concentrations of particulate. And going forward with the new EN standards, we need to be able to measure the low concentration and low dust sizes. So basically optical methods has various strengths in that you can measure low concentrations, you can measure fairly small sizes. It's a powerful instrument, it's real time, it's fast measurement, and it's got a good spectral response. So it can measure very low dust concentrations and very small dust sizes. So the new measurements required, you need to measure going forward in the new EN standard is ammonia and ultrafine particulate. This is from the pinprick size down very, very small, which is 0.1 micrometers. So there are very, very low limits as well for PM2.5, PM10, and we have various solutions from the gaseous phase all the way through to the particular ultrafine and then up to the PM10, PM2.5. Just to give you an idea, this shows you PM10 on one side, and what happens is we speciate the dust sizes in certain size channels, and we do 31 channels on a standard optical based methods. That's standard dust measurement, which is PM10 2.5, and up to 31 different channel sizes down to quite low level. But that is still not enough to satisfy the new EN and SEN standards. So what we have to do now is we have to measure from the gaseous phase ammonia and other gases, and then ultrafine particulates, and then the fine particulates. So we've categorized them like that to give a good visual representation of what the new EN standards is trying to ask us to perform. So this is the Air Quality Green Deal. It was actually published on the 14th of October 2024. So now we have to enact that within a certain time frame, which is 20 days from the publication. So we've got 2 years for this to come into effect. Now it's been published, basically. So it sets new limits for 2030, much lower limits, different particulate sizes, as I say, fine particulate, ultrafine particulate, and the new precursors, which is the gases. So what will happen is there's more air quality stations, and these are what we'll call super sites. So super sites will be determined by number of population and that sort of thing. So regarding PM10, the EU limit is on a daily 24-hour basis.